branding as extremely critical. So I'll just take a step back and I'll say, what do you mean by branding or performance marketing? I'll just try to deconstruct the two, because what happens for most of the people, if you ask somebody who comes from a FMCG background, for them probably branding means TV pe ad karna. The new age growth experts, they will tell you branding means YouTube pe ad karna. Nothing can be farther from the truth. While these are critical aspects of branding, but these are not the only aspects of branding. Some very good examples we have seen in Bangalore. We know a company called Growth School, Sequoia funded, completely built on the personal brand of one person, Web of Sisinti. That's the part of personal branding. Or for that matter, we all know one more podcaster, Raj Shamani. He's starting a startup in the creator space, D2C creator space, entirely built on his own personal brand. Or for that matter, one person that I really admire a lot, Shashank Mehta, the founder of Whole Truth. If you look at his blog, fitshit.in, that has been going on for a lot of time. It's built on his own personal brand as well as something like a content marketing, if I were to say, and he started his company there. So I think these are some aspects of branding. In US, we look at Kylie Jenner, Kylie Cosmetics, again, personal brand, grown into $1 billion company out there. So branding per se, it's not very black and white or something that can be measured. The way I actually distinguish today, if you look at performance marketing, I'll give you one more. While we have deconstructed branding, let us deconstruct performance marketing as well. I was with Rummy Circle. I remember our performance marketing team was 30 plus member team. I'm talking about 2016-17. Now, to do the same task, the number of people that are required is literally 1/5 of the same. And it's more on the analytics side, analyst side, to look at different cuts, which even Google, Facebook, day in, day out, they are trying to make it much easier actually. So if you look at it, has become a lot of tools driven. We all know two types of campaigns. I'm sure your listeners might be thinking, if there's an app campaign, it's something, or universal ad campaign, UAC. आप सिर्फ creative डाल दो, budget decide कर लो, आप target दे दो, बाकी पूरा काम Google करेगा. And the same on the website side is Performance Max. So the lot of creativity in performance marketing has been dumbed down actually. Performance marketing is very scientific, tools driven, algorithmic, or if I were to put it, it's very scientific. I'll say science. Branding is art. And today, if you see, if somebody, if you talk about entrepreneurs or growth experts, for them to really make a difference, like सबके लिए वही है आज दिन वो हो जाता है. If I as a brand have 1 lakh as a budget per day, you as a brand have 50,000 as a budget per day, till when will this race continue? Performance marketing में आप वो लड़ाई करोगे. Branding is where, as a smaller brand with limited resources, you can fight bigger brands. So I see branding as an art, performance marketing as science, which is tools driven. And if you want to stand out, this is one way to do it. And I build those analogies, like you build your moat where, for example, Ankur Warikoo, with all his followers, built a moat that he had an amazing distribution out there. Just with credit card billing, they had such a big distribution, they started integrating other things in itself. So while the way distribution is a moat, I believe branding is your moat, which you should not lose, which we saw with examples like Whole Truth, Growth School, for example, Raj Shamani startup, or for that matter, where I was. I will encourage all the users. I'm sure if you're a meat eater, you would have tasted Licious over the last 3 years. For the longest time, I used to believe that Licious and Fresh to Home are neck to neck, always. Come first lockdown, post that, you see where Licious is, where Fresh to Home is. I think the numbers, the brand searches, everything are in public domain. You should check it out. And it's pure, I would say, the efforts of our founders, Abhay and Vivek. And Abhay, the way he looks at the brand, the way he has invested from the very first day in 2015 on building that brand. So if you were to say is branding critical, I would say अगर नहीं सोच रहे तो यार प्रॉब्लम है, आगे चल के प्रॉब्लम होगी फिर.